Europe is stuck in an innovation paradox: world-class universities, deep research capabilities, and a single market of 450 million consumers. Yet Europe still faces two critical gaps along the innovation journey. The first is the pre-commercialization gap. How do you take academic research and get it to a working prototype? The second is the scaling gap. How do you take a European prototype and get it to global commercialization? This double valley of death continues to derail deep tech and healthcare innovations, especially in biopharma, medtech, and life sciences, before they can scale or commercialize. And we see this all too often in our work with startups. So in this report, we'll look at why these gaps exist, what the consequences are, and how we can solve them. We lines start by exploring the root challenges and the investment gaps that form Europe's double valley of death. Then we lines detail our strategic blueprint and show how Europe can close these gaps once and for all. Investment gaps. Why does the double valley of death persist? The first reason is that government and early grants play a vital role during the research phase, but too often these lifelines disappear right before commercialization. When companies need it most, angel and seed investors remain sparse. And when they do engage, they tend to be highly risk-averse, especially in science-heavy domains. Beyond the seed stage, VC and pay capital is fragmented and cautious. Many European companies find it challenging to access the larger 100 million euros plus growth rounds that fuel serious scale-up. Even when such funding is secured, operations and commercialization remain under-resourced, extending the time to profitability and increasing the chance of failure. Finally, public procurement mechanisms are underutilized. Europe has yet to fully validate or scale innovation through early institutional adoption. Strategic blueprint. Closing the gaps with capital innovation. Our analysis reveals three distinct but interconnected pathways to bridging Europe's double valley of death. Leverage converging private equity and venture capital strategies. From 2020 to 2025, private equity radically reshaped the biopharma services sector, particularly CROs contract research organizations and CDMOs contract development and manufacturing organizations. Today, nearly 30% of the top 50 biopharma CROs and CDMOs have been backed by private equity, resulting in over $20 billion invested across 180-plus deals. This trend can and must be leveraged to support Europe's startups. Key strategic benefits include creating regional roll-up ecosystems that consolidate smaller ventures into platforms with shared capabilities. This approach enhances innovation by centralizing expertise, fostering collaboration, and enabling startups to pool resources for greater impact. Secondly, capital acceleration from pay firms. Pay firms can fund cross-border growth and late-stage product development, alleviating the financial burden on startups and accelerating their path to commercialization. And thirdly, applying operational playbooks from private equity. PE firms bring proven methodologies that can dramatically improve commercialization readiness, operational efficiency, and scalability. European startups can benefit immensely by adopting best practices in areas like digital transformation, supply chain optimization, and talent management. Case in point, Catalent, Syneos, and Parexel, all backed by private equity, have demonstrated the high returns possible. They've streamlined processes, expanded capabilities, and scaled up production, resulting in significant improvements in time to market and cost efficiency. Institutionalize adaptive clinical trials and AI in drug development. Europe can also boost innovation by embracing new clinical trial models and AI tools. Firstly, adaptive trials allow for early decisions, reducing the risk of failure and compressing time to market. Secondly, integrating AI in clinical design and monitoring optimizes trial execution and outcome prediction. This combination lowers technology risk, shortens development timelines, and improves the chances of surviving the first valley of death. Strengthen the EU startup and scale-up strategy. The EU has launched initiatives to address the double valley, but further alignment with private sector strategies can amplify their impact. For example, InvestEU and the EIC Fund should offer co-investment schemes alongside VC and pay firms, especially in deep tech. The Scale Up Europe Fund should prioritize companies seeking €100 million plus growth capital with syndicate-friendly structures. Pro-innovation public procurement must be fast-tracked, allowing EU-funded startups to land early institutional customers. Talent initiatives must support founder mobility, harmonized stock options, and competitive residency programs. Regulatory sandboxes should expand beyond fintech to include healthtech, biotech, AI-driven diagnostics, and clinical software. 3. Emerging risks and recommendations as Europe adopts more private capital in its innovation system, for risks must be actively managed. Firstly, short-termism. The EU should consider a long-term investment label for biotech and medtech funds. Secondly, talent attrition. Post-acquisition equity retention schemes and advisory roles for founders should be introduced. Thirdly, quality risks. Quality-as-a-service cost hubs supported by public-private partnerships can help mitigate this challenge. And fourthly, regulatory drag. Pathways like adaptive regulation for digital health, real-world evidence, and AI-led platforms should be expanded. 4. Sectoral outlook and strategic opportunity in biopharma. Pay-driven platform strategies will continue to dominate CROs and CDMOs with increasing digitization and vertical integration. In medtech, diagnostics, digital imaging, and connected devices remain ripe for scale with coordinated procurement and IP reform. In healthtech, real potential lies in cross-border electronic health record systems and common reimbursement frameworks to support EU-wide scaling. The conclusion: a new capital playbook for Europe. Europe has the research infrastructure and talent. What it needs now is a robust capital stack, a unified commercial runway, and a long-term investment vision. By merging public support with private capital innovation, from pay platform playbooks to AI-driven drug development, Europe can finally bridge both valleys of death. The opportunity is immense, but only execution will make it real.